Hi guys, this is Shom. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about a very important topic in manifestation, which is your identity. See, you do not manifest your desires, you manifest who you are. So if you desire, you affirm, you do your I am affirmations, you do visualizations, and all those techniques will fail because you haven't changed who you are, the way you see yourself. Okay, that is who you're going to manifest. That is what you will manifest in life, and you're continuously doing that. Whatever you're attracting right now in your life originates from who you are. So we have to understand who we are, and in order for us to go and desire all these things that we want to manifest in our lives, we need to change that identity. So today we are going to talk about how are we going to kill the old identity and adopt the new one. Because I recently did that on the 30th of May this year, which is very recent. I basically buried the old identity to the ground, RIP old Shom, and gave rise to the new Shom was born. So we are going to talk about these two processes, how it happens. But before that, we need to understand what identity actually means. Okay, this is who you are, how you identify yourself, how you see yourself. Okay, subconsciously, in the deepest core of you, do you have the self-worth? Really? Are you confident that you're going to have all these things that you're trying to manifest? You think you deserve them? So that's how you associate yourself with your desires, right? Now, your identity is also called ego, right? And so what we are trying to do today is we are putting an end to the old ego, death of that old ego, and giving rise to the new one. Now, your ego or your identity has got two main traits, all right? Number one is it will always prove you right. So whoever you are, the people that show up the way they are, the experiences you get in life, and the circumstances in your life all prove you right. So if you operate from a place of low self-esteem or lack of self-worth, that's exactly how people will show up in your life to prove you right. It has to always prove you right. The experiences you get in life also comes from the same identity, right? The second trait of this ego is it always tries to avoid pain. How it tries to avoid pain is by the fight or flight mechanism, right? Now, you don't want to feel the pain. What will you do? You will avoid the situation, you will deflect, you will over apologize, right? If you operate from a place of low self-esteem, low self-worth, you will always over justify, over compensate, over give in order to receive the love, attention, and care, right? Because that's your self-esteem. That's who you identify yourself with. So you avoid that pain of being rejected by people pleasing, by over giving, apologizing multiple times, right? Now, the result of doing this, fight and flight, is that you attract more of it, right? When you deny something or when you resist something, it's a form of attracting the same thing back. Resistance is also energy. Okay? You're resisting that circumstances, it will continuously show up because you are giving your focus and energy on it. Say, for example, I tell you, when you are out on the road, do not look for a red car. Do not look for a red car. What did you just do? You just visualized a red car. I'm telling you not to, but you still are. That's what happens when you resist something. It will still keep on showing up in your life. Okay? So we got to get rid of this pattern of these things showing up in our lives because it's originating from our old identity. Now, Sorry, I'm looking down because I have written notes this time. I have to keep making these videos more structured. Okay, so it's like you change your address. You change where you live. Is that going to change who you are? You'll still be Shompal, moving from one place to another. You've changed that address, but you haven't changed. You change your name, right? Does that change who you are? People now call you by the new name. You're still you because you haven't worked on yourself. You haven't changed who you are. Inside, you're still the same person. All right? Now, we need to now understand what makes you you. What are you made up of? Whoever you have become today. This is your identity today. In order to change that, you got to understand the current state. Sorry, I'm a change manager, guys. And so I understand current state versus future state. And that's the delta, that's the change. And then we got to find a process how to deal with this change. So I'm talking about your current state, your current identity. What are you made up of? You are made up of everything that you grew up believing. The childhood that you had, the kind of parenting that you received has given you certain beliefs because you were only trying to survive. That baby you was only trying to survive. You went to school, if you were bullied or if you were said stuff on your face that gave you a certain belief about yourself because you were vulnerable. You did not know any better. So you were open to judgment and criticism, and that gave you a certain belief. And out of that, you developed certain behaviors which were your response system to those traumas that happened, right? They are your trigger response system. So in your adult life, when you start getting triggered, it's just a memory of what had happened. Okay, you do not remember the event, probably. As an infant, you don't remember the event. That incident is in the past, it's happened, it's gone. But your behavior that you developed back then gets triggered now. And so now you try to avoid the pain. And in doing that, you are actually creating more and more circumstances that will keep on appearing in your life. And this will be a never-ending process, a cycle, never-ending, right? There's no way you're going to get out of this cycle because life's not going to change till this pattern stops, right? So that is what you are made up of, your inner wounds and the survival mechanism that you developed all this time. Now, what we got to do is now we got to kill that old self. So how I did it, I'll tell you my process. And look, my process is not the ultimate process. This is what has worked for me. I journal a lot. So on the 30th of May, this is what I did. I actually buried the old Shom. I took old Shom in the back Woodstock and I basically killed her, buried her. And I also said a few nice words for her. So it was RIP Old Shom. And in doing that, I said a few words about this old Shom, who she was, right? So in doing that, obviously, you can either write it or you can go into your memory lane and see your old self, your baby self. And this is who I was. I saw myself as a child all my life. Like I never really grew up, even in practical sense, I haven't. So I always thought I was this child who can be easily fooled, manipulated, and this child always needed appreciation, from the teachers, from their parents, from their partners. So it was a sense of being considered as part of the team, to belong. She had to overgive. She had to overcompensate. She had to people please in order to keep them. This is all coming from the good girl syndrome. Do you have that? the good boy or the good girl, or good boy, a good girl, and you want to keep being called that, being identified as that. And so it creates a lot of pressure on you to maintain maintain that identification, right, of being a good boy or a good girl. And that's what happened. And in doing that, you avoid pain, you don't address it, you don't speak up, you don't have a voice, because, oh my God, you are going to be criticized, and you don't want that, right? So that was old Shom. So I reflected back on who that old child Shom was, who still at 50 still carried that identity. So we had to kill her, sadly. She's gone. She's no more. This is what you do. You got to completely bury that old identity, and then you have to go all into the new one. It's a rebirth of the new you, right? Once you do that ritual of burying your old self, actually visualize yourself gone. It's not you anymore. You may have memories of her showing up again. It's gonna happen. You don't forget your loved ones who are no more, right? And you remember them lovingly, and they will show up, right? Memories of old Shom and the things that she created will keep on showing up. And you got to identify that that was a creation of old Shom. Like the house people live in, the chair they sat on, when somebody is no more, the things they used, things they created, the business they created, the friendships they had, they are still here in this world, and they'll continue to show up. So that's going to happen. Even your new identity will see traces of old Shom, and it's going to show up. Okay? So, but now what do? You have given birth to a new identity. Now, this new identity is a baby, right? Now, first of all, before we go into how to nurture this new baby, you got to know you got to put the right ingredients in this new self, the new identity, who you really are. So, before going into, you want to become a teacher, you want to become a mother, you want to become a doctor, or whatever that are those identities that you desire to be, before all of that, be the source, be the I am. You are everything. You already have everything. You are all there is. You are all there is, right? So go from that source of all identities. So I am source love. I am source power. I have everything. I am all there is. I am all that is. I am on the highest pedestal. I attract, right? All of these things. I have queen energy. I have king energy. Everything falls in place. I'm always at the right place at the right time. I am perfection. I am everything. I know everything. So once you have identified yourself with the source, that is where the other identities will originate from. So once you do that, right, you have your process. I'll make another video on my daily routine on how I do my I am affirmations, how many times a day and things like that, right? So I'm going to do that. But for now, remember, once you've created that new identity, she's born. The new Shom is now born. The new you has now been born. What do you do to an infant? What do you do to an infant? Do you put the infant in a school or let him go out, walk on the street? No, you got to take care of this new infant now. And to do that, you got to remind this new infant. So you have to feed them, you have to feed the infant, you have to nourish the infant, and you have to protect the infant. Okay? How do you feed the infant? By reminding him or her who they are. Remind yourself, not 5 minutes a day, No, throughout the day. Be in that element. Be that person who is desiring and trying to manifest all these things. Be that person. Remind yourself. Put a timer. Have an app called I think it's called Mindfulness Bell for iPhones and Mindful Chimes for Samsung, Android. So get an app that reminds you every 15 minutes, every time you zone out into your old identity, you snap out of it. You snap out of it and say now. Say it loudly, now. Everything is in the now, right? You drift away into your old identity, you bring yourself back to the now. And who is this person in the now? The new identity. Go back into your affirmations. I am source power. I am power. I am knowledge. And then, who do you want to become? I'm a coach. I'm a healer. I'm a life coach. I'm a YouTuber. Whoever identity is, like, this is who I am. And then step into that identity for the rest of the day. You got to do this more often in the beginning. And then you won't need the 15-minute timer, or you won't need a reminder. You will actually be. But you have to do this continuously. Practice that. That's how you nourish, right? You're making that child walk now. You're teaching the child how to walk, how to take the baby steps. And like I said, you have to defend, you have to protect the new identity. And what do I mean by protect? It's by when the old identity shows up in a memory form, and it affects the new baby. The baby starts crying, the baby starts showing signs of this memory of the old Shom or the old identity. You got to protect that person by showing them, this is not you, this is someone else. Okay? Your reaction shouldn't be the reaction that old identity had. Identify this as your old you. You are now reacting, you have started showing reaction as the old identity. You have again started being clingy, being possessive, being insecure, having low self-worth and all of that. You had buried that identity, didn't you? So how come you are reacting the same way? So every time you see yourself reacting the old way, snap out of it. I am power. I am love. I am source. I have everything I desire. I already have. Right? So that's how you kill the old identity and give birth to the new one. So that now, out of this new identity, now you can start your manifestation techniques. Your visualization will work now, because you will believe. The more, you will only manifest who you are. So as this baby, as the new identity grows on you, it will be more and more believable. Why? Because remember the two traits I said? The first one was ego. Your identity, yourself will always prove you right. That's the guarantee. This new identity will also be proven right. Okay? Whew. So people will show up in a totally different way. People will show up in the way that you are, who you have become. You treat yourself as queen, as goddess, as the king, as the god. People around you will see that energy, feel that energy, and will align their frequency with your frequency and exactly behave that way with you. You raised your self-worth, people will now take you seriously. When you speak, your words will carry value and importance in their life. So people, circumstances around you, it'll all start aligning to who you are becoming. Wherever you are, whatever stage you are in that becoming, you will start attracting all these people and circumstances in your life that will prove your new identity right. It will prove you right. So with that belief, with that guarantee, start doing the work. Put your old identity to rest. RIP. Say a few good words about them. Remember them fully. Have a memorial service. I did that. And then go all into the new identity. What have you got to lose? Go all in. Don't carry any of the old weight. And then protect this new child. Okay? Anytime old memories show up, don't react. People behave a certain way that they used to behave to the old Shom. You change the story. You don't react to that. You reject that. That's a reaction for the old Shom. I am not that old Shom. I'm someone else now. Like I said in the other video, somebody calls me with by another name. Am I going to respond? No, because I know I am Shom. Okay? If somebody calls me a doctor or an architect, I'm like, that's not me. I'm a change manager. That's who I am. That's my career. That's my job. Are you Shom the painter? No, you got the wrong person. So these reactions, that you have to be careful that you are not reacting to those old identity. Remember who you are. And then change the story. Tell yourself who you are. Who are you being? Okay? So anytime any triggers happen in your life after you have given birth to the new identity, I want you to ask yourself two questions, two very important questions. A trigger happened, you are reacting, okay? First, snap out of it by asking the first question. Who are you being? In this very moment, who are you being? Old you, new you. Second, to whatever is happening in front of you, in your 3D, whatever is happening, what meaning are you giving to anything? You can give meaning the way you like. An incident happens, right? That incident is not the experience. Experience is the meaning you give to that incident. You can totally be delusional here, delusional. And you can give it a completely opposite meaning. Say, for example, you had a fight with a friend, right? A friend shows up and argues. You look at their text, it's an argument, it's a fight. Okay? That's an incident. How does the new you react to that? Number one, no reaction, because it's the old identity. They are not speaking to you. They are speaking to the old you. So no reaction, right? So if there is no reaction, you're neutral to this incident, this message that you got on your phone. You're neutral to it. Now what you do, okay, neutral. Now, next step, important next step. Next step is you change the story. You see the story as you want it to be. You change the story. Be delusional. Okay? Change it. Oh, my friend is so sweet, so warm, so agreeable. She's so nice. She never judges. She's so good. She's the best friend I've ever got. Oh, look at her. Look at the messages. Look at how cute she is. Oh my goodness. You have just changed your perception of this 3D reality, which is not the real reality, right? Your reality is here. Okay? It's not imagination. Your right-hand side of the brain is your creative flow, so where everything originates. This is the real place. This is 4D is the real source of everything. So this is what is happening in front of you. It's just in 3D. It's just a reflection. Okay? It's like a mirage. It's not real. Okay? So how can you react to something that's not real? It's a reflection of your old you. Okay? So do that. Totally reject it. Be neutral to it. They're not talking to you. They're talking to the old you. And so now, next step is that you totally create a new story. You thank them for being that person and you let go. this is a continuous process because it will continuously show up. Your old self had created a lot of shit, a lot of crap. Plus, there are good stuff that the old you created, and that will show up as well. Okay, so embody this new you that you have created. Kill the old you and go into this new identity like a phoenix rises from the ashes. I always identify myself as a phoenix, but this phoenix has risen, and there is no more dying, and there's no more of this, this source identity has now been created, and she's gonna live here for a very, very long time. And with that, I want to end this video. I think it's gone 25 minutes. Oh my God. I wanted to make it short, but I hope you got good value in this video. And if you have any questions, please email me. The link is in the description, or leave a comment. And I cannot wait to see your godliness and your I amness shine. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.